How these guys match up, Badou Jack 29, Periban 28. The height the same, and you see the super middleweight limit and a little bit of an edge in reach to Periban. 10 points to the winner of a round. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell at all. Only the referee can stop the fight. Physicians do have input. And in the case of an accidental foul, as we just saw, you go to the scorecards after the 4th round. Let's go to Joe Martinez.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go with our co-featured bout of the evening. 10 rounds scheduled for the NABF Super Middleweight Championship. Presented by Mayweather Promotions and Golden Boy Promotions, and sponsored by Corona, la cerveza más fina. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day, and Invisible Text. Download now. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside on the 10-point must system are Al Lefkowitz, Steve Morrow, and Jerry Rock. This bout is sanctioned by the NABF, with President in attendance Dwayne Ford and Supervisor in attendance Rex Walker. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Hall of Fame boxing referee Robert Byrne. And here we go, fight fans, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red, he weighed in officially 168 pounds even. This veteran brings 20 victories, just 1 defeat, and 13 big wins by way of knockout del Distrito Federal, Mexico. Here is el monstruo, Marco Antonio Periban. And next his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing tonight black trimmed in orange, he weighed in also 168 pounds even. His record stands perfect in 15 bouts, 15 victories, no defeats, 10 big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the undefeated Badou Jack the Ripper.
And they'll come together here and get final words.
So, gentlemen, you had your instructions in the dressing room. The only thing I'm going to remind you of now is when I tell you stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing. Give me a clean break. Habla pare, no tire golpes, fuera limpio. Protect yourself at all times. Let's go.
All right, so stare down proved to be a stalemate. What do you think, Paul? Is this a guns away fight, or do you think this has distance written on it?
Well, you know, Periban showed his tenacity in the Sakio Bika fight. He's going to be tough to put away, but Badou Jack has a sharp offense, a flashy defense. You know, he's one of those fighters with a good style as far as natural ability and physical ability. So, you know, let's see if he can. You know, he's definitely going to be the more talented of the two, but Periban comes in with having faced a better competition and definitely more battle tested.
And as we mentioned, that fight with Bika just back in June. Jack, a 2008 Olympian for Gambia. Native of Stockholm originally. Trained by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, so there's some nice pedigree there for him. Former light heavyweight champion. We saw him in July get a unanimous decision over Enes Farah. Good right hand by Periban. Periban from Mexico City, where he's based now. Had an amateur win over Sean Porter. We're going to see a little bit later.
Yeah, going to main event.
Pro since 2008. And there's a low blow. Robert Byrd saw it. Commented.
Saw Badou go to the body a few seconds ago, and Periban was trying to return the favor, just a little low. Sharp shot up top. Badou working his way inside of it. You know, to me, it's almost like if he stays inside too much, it'll be what Periban wants. I think Badou Jack is probably better off working a bit on the outside and using the superior speed that he has. But right now, Periban worked him a little bit on the inside. See the approach Badou Jack ends up taking as the fight progresses, because Periban is a tough guy, and he certainly, if you stay in front of him, he will let his hands go.
Good left hook there by Badou Jack. grown pretty quickly in his 15-fight career. Periban, left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Jack trying to move Periban back.
Some sharp shots by Periban. I think he's surprising Jack a little bit.
Good hand speed by both, good reaction time.
Yeah, and I like how Jack set that right hand up with a touch jab to the body and the right hand to the head.
So the opening round is intriguing and has a pretty good pace. And Periban manages to finish it strongly.
¿Sale? Vamos a hacer una pelea inteligente, Marco. El jab, márcalo, pero salte, no te quedes, porque estás parado. ¿Sale? Cuando él te está contestando, hay que mover. Por dentro le estás metiendo la derecha. La derecha arriba, remátala, pero también remata.
You ain't gonna be able to take that. You take it to the body with both hands like you're doing. Finish with the left hook on top. The jab is the key. Give me the water, please. Gotta have that, baby. Wipe it out.
And our main event is coming up after this. We'll have Sean Porter and Julio Diaz 2. Their first fight was a barn burner, a split decision draw. Each guy got a 1-point win on one scorecard, and then the third scorecard was dead even. So that fight, very little separated that.
I expect another great fight tonight. Closely contested first round here was the activity of Periban. He may have carried it in the first round, but Badou Jack landed a couple of good shots himself.
Between these guys, 35-1, 23 knockouts, and the only loss was when Periban went up against Sakio Bika and nearly took the 168-pound title. Good right hand.
That's the thing, if Badou Jack can pull this off, and here he's running into a little bit of trouble, but if he can get this win tonight, you know, he'll kind of show people just how close he is to the 168-pound title, because Periban had a very close fight, came up just short of losing to Sakio Bika for a world title at 168 pounds. So Badou Jack can win convincingly tonight, which right now he needs to get to work if he's going to do that. You know, he can show, he can go from kind of a prospect to a contender. But right now he needs to pick up the pace, because Marco Antonio Periban is starting to find him more and more.
How about the emotional shift for a Periban, because he was all out in that last fight, so much on the line, just came up a little bit short, and now they say, okay, you've got a TV fight, but it's not for that level of championship, and we've seen some guys not rise emotionally in those situations because it's so soon after.
Yeah, sometimes there is that emotional letdown, almost that rebound kind of fight where you're just not into it as much, but he came to fight tonight. I mean, Periban looks sharp. He actually looks sharper tonight than he did against Bika. As far as the highlights, because again, I didn't see that whole fight.
You saw some of the best ones there as they closed it out. Good jab and a right hand by Periban. 3 punches, he's putting them together nicely here.
Good combination. You know, Jack keeps his hands up, composed. He's got to fire back, though. You know, Periban moving his hand in there. Jack's got to fire back right after that. See, good overhand right there, landed slightly on the glove of Periban, but Jack's got to come back with something else after it. You can't be content with just landing one at a time. You want to put those combinations together, because that's what Periban is doing. When he gets close, he's moving his hands and putting the combinations together.
Good hook to the body there by Periban.
It's never one at a time from Periban. Jack, a lot of times, just like that left hook there, he kind of believes one shot and then ends one shot or throws one shot and then looks to get out. He's got to get a bit more active. Again, as an example, like as I just said, Periban with a combination again.
All right, so Jack and Periban continue to go back and forth as we close in on round 2. Periban has the speed edge so far, showing some good form. So it's Periban out in the lead. And we'll be back in just a moment. Round 3, Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban. Locked up in a 10-rounder. 168-pound division. Dave Bontempo and Paulie Malignaggi with you here from the MGM in Las Vegas. We've got Sean Ortiz and Julio Diaz 2 up next. And of course, this is the big weekend. Canelo and Mayweather. And the buzz throughout Las Vegas has been substantial and constant. Badou Jack here with a left hand and a jab.
Periban looking confident, even giving some footwork, using around the ring, dancing a little bit.
And he just danced into a right hand by Badou Jack.
And Jack's got to kind of work off of that. You know, he's got to maintain that momentum. To see he stops working and Periban gets right to work. And that's what's really been the difference in this fight thus far, is that work rate of Periban, the combination punching of Periban. Jack is not overmatched by any means. Talent-wise, he's right there, but he's just not as active.
Well, Jack has landed a right hand to the head and a body shot, while the footwork that you've been referencing for Periban continues to be a good edge for him.
Well, it's not just that. Every time he gets in close, he throws in combination. He throws in 2s, 3s, and 4s, you know? And Jack's just got to pick up that work rate a little bit. He throws a right hand there. He's got to follow that up.
Here comes Jack as he's gotten to Periban, who's looking over at the referee. And this is a veteran guy. He knows that really can't do that.
Good right hand by Jack. And he's got to take advantage of that. You know what? It's protect yourself at all times. Periban was trying to complain to the referee about a possible rabbit punch. But hey, man, it's not your job to referee.
Did look like the heads came together, and we may get a look at that later. Meantime, for Badou Jack, it's been a very good third round, a confidence builder. Periban trying to take that away with a double jab and a right hand. Some good work there by Periban, and more. Another good right hand by Periban.
Again, he's active. Jack has the ability to answer him. He's just got to make a conscious effort to do it. I mean, Jack has the hand speed. He's got the, you know, he's got the proper technique in his punches. He just got to make the proper effort to actually get his hands off enough.
But whatever was bothering Periban, he shook it off in the final minute of round 3 and made it interesting. So as Jack comes to life more in round 3, Periban has a good final minute. We've had one fight already short-circuited tonight by a headbutt. And we almost saw it happen again here.
Here's a replay of a possible clash of heads. Let's see, and there it was. You're right, and that's what he was walking away from. He took a headbutt right on the cheek. I thought maybe it was a right hand that he thought landed a little bit behind the head, but it was actually, as Jack moved his way in to throw that right hand, it was actually a clean headbutt right on the cheek. And I mean, it doesn't feel good, but at the same time, you got to be careful when you trying to get the ref's attention, because protect yourself at all times is the rule. And you know, you don't want to get clipped while you're complaining.
Yeah, still no sale as far as the referee was concerned.
Exactly.
And we move into round 4. Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban. The headbutt in round 3, bothering Periban, but then he came back after that. Yeah, Paulie, that's one of the rare butts you see where only one guy got affected.
Yeah, because you know what it is? Badou comes from almost a lower angle. So as he was coming up to throw the right hand, he landed the old one too, the headbutt right hand. And you see Badou getting to work there, and that's what you want to see from him. You see how you put the combination together, first to the body and then to the head. You want to put more than 1 and 2 together, and Badou has the ability to do that. He has the speed, and he has the ability to put them together, as he just did there again.
Double jab here by Periban, and it opens up some more. Good right hand by Badou Jack. And the punches through 3, indicating edge in punches landed for Jack, but punches thrown for Periban.
That's according to the
numbers, guys. Yes, so judges will decide what landed. Did you give the 3rd round to Badou Jack? He was coming on, but Periban had a very good final minute.
Yeah, it's one of those toss-up rounds, and it could actually come into play at the end because, you know, it seems like Badou's trying to work his way back in the fight. He's even having a pretty good 4th round as Periban tries to work his way back into it.
Yeah, that 3rd round had a split round written all over it. See how the judges have it later, but if you were in the corner of Badou Jack, you're telling him you got yourself back into the fight here, you got your footing.
Big right hand again by Jack.
And the same thing for Periban. Both guys acted like they were fighting a southpaw for a second, and they got away with it.
Yep.
Good body work here by Jack, and then right up stop is Periban.
Jack's got to fire back there. Where he's blocking, he's taking the shots on the glove. Some, maybe they partially get through, maybe they don't. And there, that's what I mean right there. He fires back with a straight right hand. He's got to let his hands go more right after Periban gets off the combinations. Periban has a cut on his right eye. Not sure if it came from a punch or from a butt.
All right, so the left hook by Badou Jack gets in, and you take a look at the cut. That is going to have to be handled by the corner of Periban as we come to the end of round 4. As we start round 5 of the scheduled 10-round, 168-pound bout, Badou Jack has literally opened up a huge opportunity here against Marco Antonio Periban by opening up a cut in a nasty spot in the eyelid area there, and that's a chance for him.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, he had a pretty good 4th round. You know, Jack is starting to find the range. He's starting to put his punches together better. And now, and there he goes again. He seems to have found a home for those body shots. He seems to start the attack to the body and then bring it up to the head.
Double jab by Periban. Tell you what, this has been a fast-paced fight.
Yeah.
For 168-pound guys. Taking a look at Badou Jack, putting the heavy pressure on. Now, Periban is a veteran, but what about the sense of urgency that would come from this cut now for him?
Of course, it's always something to worry about because it's a bad cut, it's in a bad spot, and if his, God forbid, his corner can't handle it, you know, they may stop the fight, and if it's from a punch, which did Robert Byrd call from a punch, you know, then it's he would lose by a technical knockout. So, you know, he kind of has to get to work here. Just in the event that they stop the fight on the cut, it won't even matter if he's winning or losing. They won't, because they wouldn't go to the scorecards. It would be a technical knockout because the cut came from a punch. And you see Jack working on it, sharp left jab and turning the jab into a left hook. Smart work by Badou Jack there.
So if he continues to work this way, the fight for Marco Antonio Periban might have been shortened by a couple rounds because he has to step it up. And that's part of the real tenacity of a guy having to dig in.
And let's face it about stepping up. I mean, Periban was already fighting at a pretty fast pace. I mean, he was initiating a lot of the exchanges. So I don't know, as far as stepping it up, what else he can do. If not, you can't fight at a much faster pace. And it's starting to seem as if Badou Jack is actually starting to get his timing down better.
He's backing Periban up. I'm hinting more that Periban might have to go for broke.
Yeah, Periban's still fighting. But Jack seems to be a lot more comfortable than he was in the first couple of rounds.
Left hook, driving Periban back. And this is an interesting time as you take a look at that cut that Periban has. This is where some referees will allow lobbing from the corner to say my guy can continue, and some will not. It's right in that range. You can go either way. And that's the slope that Marco Antonio Periban must navigate now.
Well, that's the thing. Do you risk losing 2 fights in a row. I mean, you kind of gotta go for it if you're Periban, because yeah, his last fight was a world title fight loss, but if he loses tonight, he lost to a good prospect, but then you lost 2 fights in a row.
Sixth round action underway, scheduled for 10. Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban locked up in a good one here in the 168-pound division. Periban started quickly, but Badou Jack has had good rounds in 3, 4, and 5, and opened up a nasty cut in the eyelid area that Badou Jack has a chance to capitalize on. And for Periban, it's a problem. And he's trying to navigate.
Jack fighting smart, trying to get that jab in on that cut, bust it back open. You know, once you get the blood coming out and flowing, if you can get in the eye of Periban, he won't be able to see the punches coming from that side. It'll give Jack even more of an opportunity to open up his combinations.
Right hand coming from Badou Jack, good body shot. And there's Periban coming back with 2 hard shots of his own. Good stiff jab by Badou Jack. Through 5.
Good hook right hand.
Jack has the edge in those numbers. And we suspect a lot of those numbers have come in rounds 4 and 5. A higher percentage than earlier. Good hook to the body here from Jack. Periban meets him. Fires to the body. Good 2-punch combination here from Badou Jack.
And Jack working, but you know, good work by the cutman in Periban's corner, Carlos Vargas. As this round, the blood has not flowed as much as it was initially, even if Jack is landing his shots. And it's giving Periban a chance to be effective and fight back in his own right.
Yeah, you've got to give your corner a chance for what they worked on to take hold. It's a coagulant, there's pressure. But at the same time, you can't give rounds away. So you're stuck in that tough zone there. Uppercut by Periban. Jab following from Badou Jack. Very little downtime in this fight. These guys have set an excellent pace.
And good back and
crisp
forth
fight. Been a real crisp fight.
Just a professional fight from the 2 solid super middleweights. I think that was more off balance.
All right, so they come to the end of round 6. Periban almost got through the round without the cut showing up again, but it is there, and back to work they go. We got our main event up next. Sean Porter and Julio Diaz to the welterweights. Take a look at Porter hitting those mitts, and there's the eye of Periban.
Hay que hacer los lados de izquierda, pues llaveando, ¿vale? No te quedes parado. Ahora, la pura derecha te está entrando, por lo mismo que no mueve la cintura, Marco, te quedas parado, ¿vale? Hay que contragolpearlo más rápido.
And some action from the last round. It's Jack with a good hook right hand. And by throwing the hook right hand, the hook is kind of a decoy. You get Periban looking the opposite side, and then you throw that sharp right hand coming from the totally opposite end of where you were just looking.
And he clipped him right on the chin with that. Into round 7 we go, and it's a good one. Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban. Double jab here by Jack. Periban has been cut in a way that it was nasty midway in this fight, and his corner's done a good job to keep it manageable for him.
Oh, absolutely. Carlos Vargas is one of the better cut men in boxing today. You know, I remember my fight with Pablo Cano. I had him cut bad, and Carlos Vargas kept him in the fight. So Periban's got a good guy working the corner, and you know, controlling those cuts. And it's given him a chance because, you know, we're in round 7 out of 10, and this has been a very competitive fight. So it's giving Periban a chance to kind of be in the fight, kind of try to win the, you know, these last 4 rounds. It's still all to fight for in my eyes.
It's momentum that these guys have been trading back and forth. Rounds 1 and 2 were good for Periban. And then Badou Jack in that round 3 was the one we thought could go either way. And then 4, 5, and 6 good for Jack. And Periban suffering the cut. And finds a second wind here in round 7. And you find that in what you described earlier as a real solid professional fight. These guys have something in reserve and find another avenue.
Yeah.
Here comes Periban trying to ride his second win.
So plenty of fight left in Periban. And I like the composure. You know, Jack, a young prospect, but remaining composed under fire here as the fight gets into the trenches and, you know, gets into the later stages.
When you're a veteran, you're thinking, just keep me close. Just keep me in this fight. I know how to take it late. Good hook to the body here by Periban.
Jack's got to move his hands a little bit. Periban seeming to outwork him this round.
Good jab, then a left hook by Periban. Trying to ride that second wind, as we said, is Periban. It had a good, strong finish against Sakio Bika in the fight before this, in which he almost captured a championship. So they continue to battle along with Periban enjoying a good 7th round. 3 rounds to go, and this one is fun. We go into round 8. Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban locked up in a very nice one. 15-0 with 10 knockouts for Badou Jack, and Periban 20 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 13 knockouts. Dave Bontempo and Paulie Malignaggi with you from the MGM in Vegas.
Periban seeming to try to show the young man Badou Jack that, you know what, I'm the veteran. This is what I do in the late rounds. I close strong. Let's see what kind of answer Badou Jack has as he lands a good counter right hand over the top.
Periban has risen to the challenge he did in round 7 after the momentum had clearly slipped over to Badou Jack.
I think Jack has to get back to that body attack that was working so well for him early in the fight. I want to slow down this almost second wind of Marco Periban, if you can call it that.
Numbers indicating that Jack landing more, Periban throwing more. When we've seen numbers like this in the past, we have seen split decisions come out of that. So let's see how it plays out. We still have 3 rounds to go.
And let's not forget, those numbers aren't necessarily fact. So,
all right, there's somebody part there. That's their view on being thrown and landed, and anything other than a jab is a power punch.
You know, it's something you can use as a gauge to try to score the rounds. But, you know, watching the fight and actually seeing it for yourself is always the best way. A good body shot by Periban as now blood flows out as Jack lands a hook on that cut eye. Good two-way action here.
Good body shots from Periban, and Jack coming right back at him. Got a bloody nose now, too.
And some of those left hooks from Badou Jack have opened up that cut again.
And he tries to get back at Periban here. Here comes Badou Jack.
This is a battle of attrition here, both guys.
And Periban with that mouth open, almost saying, bring it on. Left hook by Jack.
Seems like Jack's punch is just a little bit shorter, getting inside.
Double jab in the right hand by Jack.
Periban undaunted. He's continuing to throw, but Jack seeming to throw shorter, crisper punches on the inside here.
Uppercut here by Periban. Right hand over the top. Good left hook by Periban.
Two good slips there by Periban, and he gets back to work.
Jab and a right hand. Final seconds counting down to round 8. There has been opportunity for both guys. And they will have 2 more rounds to settle the issue as round 8 goes into the books and they retreat to their respective corners. This Saturday, it's a full day of college football action, beginning with Virginia Tech battling East Carolina, followed by an in-state battle between Iowa and Iowa State on Fox Sports 1, while California looks to have set 4th-ranked Ohio State on Fox. Then in the nightcap, it's a Pac-12 battle between Oregon State and Utah, back on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports is your home for college football all season long, and that is a loaded lineup.
No hace nada cuando le pegas. Hazlo, Marco. Venimos a ganar. Okay, hazlo. Es el noveno round.
Here's some of that, all that action in the last round. Body shot right there by Marco Antonio Periban, right under the left arm of Badou Jack. Same shot, different angle here. There's a counter jab by Badou Jack. A lot more action than that in that round. That was a good two-way action for both guys.
9th round underway. Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban. Well, the fact that they came in with glittering records is an indication of the kind of fight we were going to get, and we have had back and forth action. What do we think after 8 rounds? Is this in the balance? One guy has an edge. What do you think?
Yeah, it could come down to these last 2 rounds. This fight is close. Seems like Badou Jack has gotten the better of it as the fight has progressed. He's had the shorter punches, crisper shots, but Periban has never stopped working. He's landed his own combinations inside, and he seemed to have the better start to the fight earlier as well. So it could be close. These last 2 rounds might decide it. Who knows?
Yeah, the early start by Periban, at least 2 rounds and maybe 3 before Badou Jack got rolling. Good right hand by Jack, and Periban answers with a right hand of his own. And a good left hook and a right hand by Periban. Back comes Badou Jack with a crisp right hand, cracks him on the jaw.
Both guys not shying away from that trench warfare. I tell you, Badou's trying to make it a battle of attrition. He's now walking the veteran down. Good composure by this young man.
Jack with the jab. Cut opens up again. Periban battling through it. These guys, in terms of their knockout power, probably a little bit better than moderate.
And I like what Badou Jack just did there. Periban tried to initiate a clinch, was looking for a break. Badou pushed him off and kind of started throwing punches, started to work again. Even psychologically, that shows your opponent, hey man, you might be tired, but I'm here to work. And it can almost, discourage an opponent, to say the least. Let's see how Periban reacts to it. He reacts by punching. What else? That's what he's been doing all night.
Well, he's instinctive that way, and both of these guys have found the comfort zone for their punching. You say, try to make the other guy throw when he's not comfortable. These guys are both been comfortable. They've got a technical problem they're going to address in the second with.
Ready for a break in the action, but Badou is not letting that break happen. He's got the tape loose on his left hand, which is the same side as the bad cut on Periban, which is his right eye. You got to be careful there. There's an already bad cut there. You don't want to rake up against that cut.
Double left hook and tape flying from Badou Jack. So they're letting that go, and usually they will be stopped before the corner gets involved, but got a few seconds to go now in the round.
And that right eye is not only cut, but it's now starting to close on Periban.
Round 9 in the books, and these guys will breathe deep and come back for more.
Con todo, Marco. Todos hemos perdido la pelea. Chíngatelo. Tú puedes. No, para nada. Venga.
Eso te estás fijando. Aún sin los ojos, cabrón, se debe.
Límpiame los ojos bien, ¿no?
Páralecito, ¿cómo te sientes? Al aire, jálalo. Tienes que ganar el aire. ¿Sale? No nos afecta nada, venga, venimos a ganar. No quiero que pierdas ya. Venga, es el último round, Marco. Suéltalo todo. Chíngalo, no hace nada.
Action from the last round. A lot of punches by Jack, and you see the little fake uppercut and then coming with a 1-2 instead. And this is what I mean. He's getting creative. He's keeping composed on the inside. And this goes to show you the composure of the young man. He's on the inside. He's still thinking. And there you see over the top right hand over the high guard of Periban. But that first replay, you saw a little fake with a right uppercut, and then he came over the top with a 1-2, all from right there within punching range. So he's not only is he very composed, but he's got the timing of Marco Antonio Periban pretty down at this point.
Final round action. Badou Jack and Marco Antonio Periban. Right, it's gone back and forth, but these guys have set a torrid pace. 168 pounders who are throwing punches like they're maybe 20 or 30 pounds lighter. I haven't really said any guy took a round off. They've been in there the whole time.
Both guys have worked every fight. A real workman-like performance by both guys. They're entertaining for the fans. Good two-way action.
Miss here by Periban, then he kept his balance, so he scores with 2 more. In the 9th round, Jack landed more, threw about the same according to the numbers. Guys really sucking it up here and trying to deliver a little bit more. You have a right hand by Periban and a good left uppercut by Jack. Now we're seeing it, the fatigue coming in a little bit poorly too, because these guys really aren't squared. They're back on their feet a little bit when they're landing some of their best shots.
Yeah, and you know, Periban fatigued and tired, and his offense is showing. He's still trying to stay active, but much wider. Just has the sloppier punches, kind of like we saw in that highlight late in the Sakio Bika fight. The difference is Badou Jack is much more composed than Sakio Bika looked in that highlight. So it's not two-way sloppy action. Badou staying composed and keeping the action with his and taking control of the action with these sharp shots. But Periban trying to outwork him this round, and thus far he has. But Badou staying composed. Let's see if he puts some punches together.
Couple jabs here from Periban. Jabbing a right hand from Jack. Periban throws 3, squares up, moves.
Again, he doesn't care how sloppy it looks at this point. He just wants to outwork Badou Jack. And like I said, he has at this point in the round. And, you know, if Periban comes up short again tonight, tough losses, both losses. You know, the Sakio Bika fight, for all intents and purposes, an entertaining fight. Tonight, another great entertaining fight. I mean, this guy puts up great fights for the fans. He seems to come up just a little short.
Here comes Jack with a good right hand. So the veteran guile shown by both guys. They both think they have it. And now the 3 scores that matter will be tabulated, and we will find out. Of course, in Jack's corner, they were telling him at one point that Periban hadn't won anything halfway through. A little Pinocchio syndrome there.
You're talking that shit now. All that shit he's been talking.
Here, action for the last round again. Sharp straight right hand by Badou Jack. His Periban was trying to come around with his own right hand. And the shorter shot, that was kind of the story of the night. Badou had the shorter, crisper shots, but Periban tried in his own right.
All right, so it goes all the way. Final numbers landed for Badou Jack, thrown for Marco Antonio Periban. Percentage highly in favor of Badou Jack. So he has 2 of the 3 categories there. This is for a Continental Championship, so you heard the people saying, and the new. More important is the world rankings. Badou Jack is number 9 in the WBC in the division in which Bika has the title. It was a good fight, very enjoyable, good pace to it. Jack looks fresh here. Jack the Ripper indeed, and Periban, a game and determined effort all the way through. It was good early, pretty good late, but what about the middle? And coming up next is our main event. The rematch, Shawn Porter and Julio Diaz 2. It was a terrific fight the first time. Could not separate them. Each guy got a 1-point victory on 2 separate cards, and then it was a draw. All right, so good fight this was. Now let's find out how it turned out.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. One more time, Las Vegas, please put your hands together for the effort of these 2 warriors inside the ring tonight. Here are the judges' scoring totals. Judge Jerry Roth scores the bout 96-94 for Periban. Judges Al Lefkowitz and Steve Morrow score it 95-95 for a majority draw.
What were the different things being shown there?
And a lot of times the activity will sway the judges, and Periban certainly had a lot of activity in a lot of those rounds. Tough fight to score, a good exciting fight, but at the end of each round, a lot of times you were a little bit confused as to who you thought might have won that round. And the judges kind of scored it that way. A draw might be fair.
And 95-95 twice and 96-94. The guys in our main event know about close scores. When we come back, they're going to go at it again.
If you told me 4 months ago